All right, guys, it's Tuesday, March the 16th. We didn't have any power when we came to school today, so we have been a little frazzled. But we finally have power, as you can see, and I'm just going to go ahead and start the lecture, and then if you guys have any questions, just let me know. All right, so for today, for review, remember yesterday we talked about 4 federal agencies that help with international trade. For this example, the U.S. military had Chevrolet, make the Ultimate Army Troop Transport, which is that truck, out of a ZR2 pickup. This information was provided by what federal agency? That will be the Department of Defense, because they organize all of our military info. Today, we're talking about 4 laws. I know, kind of boring. Boring to me, might not be boring to you, but I need to cover it. So these are called antitrust laws. All right. So you guys know what a law is, but antitrust laws are passed to encourage competition between companies. So like competition would be like McDonald's versus Burger King. So antitrust laws, they want competition out there. They want consumers to have choices with who they want to do business with. And this all started in the 1800s when businesses were getting pretty big. So every business starts off pretty small and then grows, but some companies get to be so big, well, they're starting to buy up all these other smaller companies. So, you know, customers technically, if Walmart owned every single grocery store, then Walmart could manipulate and control the prices of their groceries. So we wouldn't have any choice other than to buy food from Walmart or one of the companies that Walmart owns. So that's never a good thing. That's like saying if the only college that you had available to go to was Duke University. And that's it. The only choice of something to drink would be Coca-Cola. That's just not good for business. It's not good for us as consumers. So the federal government has passed some of these laws to protect us from those big companies manipulating prices and taking control over supply. So antitrust laws, they prohibit monopolies, which is one company that controls all, and other activities that reduce competition. The first antitrust law in 1890 was the Sherman Act. So in the late 1800s, like I said before, there were huge companies that were buying up all the little companies, and they were manipulating prices. So customers were realizing that prices were increasing because these companies controlled the supply. So because of the manipulation of prices and prices going up, the public cried out to the federal government, help us to, so these companies don't become so powerful. So that was the first antitrust law. It was just public outcry to help protect the consumer from these huge monopolies from forming and then being able to manipulate prices. The second one that we're covering today is the Clayton Act. This prevents companies from making exclusive deals with each other. So like at a club, if you are an exclusive member to a club, you're allowed in. But if you're not an exclusive member, you can't come in. So that's like saying, out of all the sugar in the world, if you've got one main company that owns most of the sugar farms, and then they make a deal with Coca-Cola to only sell their sugar to Coca-Cola, that's not fair to the other companies. It's not fair to the consumer either, because if Coca-Cola has all the sugar production, has all the sugar to put in their soft drinks, then we don't have a choice to buy Pepsi if Pepsi can't get their hands on sugar. So this just keeps big corporations from making deals with each other to be each other's only source of their supplies or their raw ingredients. The next one is the Robinson-Patman Act. This prevents huge retailers, let's say like Walgreens, from manipulating prices. So we know that Walgreens is big. With Walgreens being as big as it is, they can buy huge chunks of a product. So they can buy millions of bags of Lay's chips. And so when they buy so many, they can charge a cheaper price because they're going to sell a lot. They're going to sell a huge quantity. Whereas, a smaller drugstore like Ward Drugs, they're not going to buy millions of bags of Lay's potato chips because they only have one location. So in order to cover their cost, they're going to have to charge a more expensive price than, let's say, Walgreens, because they don't have as many locations. Just like the difference between buying a product from Walmart. Walmart buys everything in bulk because there's so many Walmarts, and then going to a local store and buying clothing. You're going to pay a higher price at a local store because they only have one location. They're going to make enough money at that one location to cover all their costs, where Walmart has all these different locations where they're pulling money from. So the Robinson-Patman Act, this states to all retailers that for a bag of Lay's chips, you have to charge at least 99 cents. So it puts a minimum price on all of your retail goods. That way a company like Walgreens or Walmart can't put your local companies out of business. Now, the last one, the Seller-Kefauver Act. This helps prevent two huge companies merging together as one and then buying up all the supply. So let's say that you've got a company like Shell Gas. If they bought up all the oil, then Sheetz couldn't get their hands on any. So this helps prevent huge companies coming together as one company and buying up all the supply, so other companies wouldn't be able to get their hands on the raw materials. So Sheetz is a relatively small gas company, but if Sheetz couldn't get their hands on gas, which is where oil is what makes gas, then Sheetz would go out of business. So it's just protecting companies in order to protect us. And that's pretty much what we covered today. Just remember to go on to Canvas, do your exit ticket, and then we're going to talk more in class today about the directions for your balance of trade activity. I'll see you guys tomorrow.